Trace here. Look at all these goodies we're going to play with today. We're going to make this card for Teacher Appreciation Week, and it was really fun. I enjoyed it. I haven't really worked all that much with Vellum, but this project will be using some Vellum. So let me show you what you're going to need. It's a good bit of stuff, but it's really fun. So the two inks is the Versamark and the Versafine, and also these inks here is the Distress inks in Salty Ocean, Broken China, Mermaid Lagoon, Peacock Feathers, and also some embossing powder, and this is the Glacier White, and of course art glitter glue, some foam squares here, a piece of vellum. This was a 12 by 12 piece of vellum that I just cut up in manageable kind of pieces here, and some Cutter Bee scissors. And the two stamp sets that I used for this is Power Flowers and Ministry Appreciation. And both of these is May Made It stamps. And of course a heat tool and a scrap piece of paper. That will do it. Let's get started. So the first thing I want to do is get my vellum pieces heat embossed. So we're just going to use some of this ink and ink that up really well. Make sure we get the whole thing and stamp that down. And it's clear, so it's really hard to see, and it's very sticky. And I know you most likely cannot see that on camera, but it is there. And so then just close that up. Take your embossing powder and you're going to sprinkle that onto the sticky part where you just stamped, and make sure that is covered completely. There we go. And then you're going to put that aside for just a sec. You want to fold this paper and just siphon it back into that jar. And so that's all set. Next you're going to heat this up. Get this back into frame. Okay. Now you're just going to heat that up. Get that tool nice and hot first and go ahead and heat that up. And as it heats, you'll see that it gets glossy. And you want to keep that tool moving at all times. You don't want to overheat it, just enough to melt all of that powder. And that's good. And that's so pretty. I love heat embossing. So look how gorgeous that is. So go ahead and stamp out all of the images that you want to do. And I stamped the flowers and the leaves, and I just put all on the same piece of vellum. And then after that cools a bit, you're going to go ahead and cut those pieces all up with your Cutter Bee scissors here. Just cut them up. And it's really easy because, you know, the vellum is very thin, so it's forgiving. If you don't have it cut completely to the very edge, you can't really see it because it's clear. So it's pretty easy to fussy cut these pieces out. Even the tiniest ones are very simple to cut. So go ahead and make yourself a whole bunch of these flowers, and we'll move on to the card front. Next, I've got my inks in order of darkest to lightest, and I'm just going to use my blending tool, and I'm going to I store my little pads right in the back of the actual square, and it's Velcro side up. So all I have to do is take this end and press it down, and it automatically picks up the sponge there. Then all I have to do is ink that up, and I usually use just the edges of the sponge here, and in a circular motion you want to apply that ink. And in some spots it's a little bit darker than others, and that's fine. Or you can go a little light-handed and get it a lot lighter. But I don't mind if there's spots that are darker, and that's fine too. And so this holiday, the teacher appreciation really kind of crept up on me. And so I'm hoping to get this out in time for you to all to give this a try for your teachers. But I think it's a great little thing to do for your teachers. They work so hard, and they deal with your children day in and day out, and so they really need to be appreciated. And so what I'll do is just continue on and go to the next color, and then I just take off. Let me hold that down, take off the pad right here, and then I just put it in the back of the cube, and I move on to the next color. Next, I stamped out my sentiments, and I used the sentiment teacher on this stamp set, Ministry Appreciation. And on the bottom here there is a stamp that says thank you for your ministry. And of course I didn't need all the for your ministry part, so I just stamped out just the thank you from that. I didn't cut it apart, I just inked it, selectively inked it for just saying thank you. So I went ahead and stamped some of those out, and the teacher, and I have ink all over my fingers. And so yeah, I thought this was a great set for teachers, since you know it did say that. And so those are ready to go. Then I'm just going to cut those out, and I'm going to apply some foam squares or foam pieces towards the back. And then I'm going to just start to arrange where I want the flowers and the sentiments. So that's really fun part. And with this other one, I did put some foam. I popped them up on foam dimensions, and I'm going to try to not do that for this one here, just to give it a little bit different look to it. So you can pop it up if you want to, you don't have to, but I'm just going to arrange this next one and show you how I attach it all together. So I have all the pieces where I want them, and it's really easy to glue on these pieces because they're clear and the glue will dry clear. But all you have to do is put it, I just on the safe side put the glue behind the actual white areas just in case you do happen to see it. And so just a tiny bit of glue, and I do leave the very edges with no glue because I like the way it kind of curls up a little bit, and I just glue that down pretty easy. And so like I said, the edges will kind of just roll up slightly, which is the effect that I want it to do. So go ahead and glue that down, and I do have the sentiment popped up on some foam. So I'm going to glue all that down and be right back. So I just attached that card front to the card base, and that will do it for that card. And here's the other version. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to appreciate your teachers out there for this week, and don't forget to subscribe and like, and I appreciate all of that. Thank you again for watching, and have a wonderful day. See you next time.